Question 1. A project manager on an Agile project is facilitating a sprint review. During the demonstration of the increment, a key stakeholder expresses concern that a crucial feature is missing, despite being discussed in an earlier backlog refinement session. The team confirms it was not pulled into the current sprint due to higher priority items. What should the project manager prioritize to ensure effective delivery? A. Explain to the stakeholder that the missing feature will be considered for a future sprint, based on product backlog prioritization. B. Immediately pause the review to add the feature to the current sprint backlog and replan with the team. C. Facilitate a discussion to understand the stakeholder's current needs, re-evaluate the product backlog's priority, and plan for incorporating feedback. D. Document the stakeholder's feedback as a change request and initiate the integrated change control process. Answer: C. Facilitate a discussion to understand the stakeholder's current needs, re-evaluate the product backlog's priority, and plan for incorporating feedback. In Agile delivery, the sprint review is a key opportunity for stakeholders to inspect the increment and provide feedback, which then informs future iterations. The project manager should prioritize facilitating a conversation to understand the stakeholder's perspective and the true urgency of the missing feature, rather than dismissing it or making an immediate commitment. This feedback is critical for re-evaluating the product backlog's priorities, ensuring that the team continues to deliver the highest value to the customer in subsequent sprints. Remember, Agile encourages continuous adaptation and responding to change over rigid adherence to a plan. Question 2. A predictive project is nearing completion, and the team is preparing for final product handover. The project manager identifies that some critical documentation, agreed upon in the project management plan, is incomplete. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take regarding delivery? A. Proceed with the handover, but note the incomplete documentation as a known issue for the operations team. B. Negotiate with the customer to accept the product without the full documentation, promising to deliver it post-handover. C. Escalate the issue to the sponsor for a decision on delaying handover or accepting a partial delivery. D. Work with the team to complete the documentation as per the plan, potentially impacting the project schedule or cost, to ensure full delivery. Answer: D. Work with the team to complete the documentation as per the plan, potentially impacting the project schedule or cost, to ensure full delivery. The delivery performance domain emphasizes delivering the scope and quality that was planned and agreed upon. In a predictive project, incomplete critical documentation represents an unfulfilled scope and potential quality issue according to the project management plan. The project manager's primary responsibility is to ensure that all agreed-upon deliverables, including documentation, meet the defined requirements before final handover, even if it means addressing the associated schedule or cost implications. Think of it this way: fulfilling the original commitment ensures project success and stakeholder satisfaction in the long run. Question 3. During a project's execution phase, the team is struggling to deliver features at a consistent pace, leading to missed internal deadlines for several iterations. The project manager observes frequent rework and a lack of clear ownership for certain tasks. What should the project manager focus on to improve delivery performance? A. Implement stricter adherence to the project schedule and assign individual accountability for task completion. B. Conduct a thorough root cause analysis to identify impediments, improve processes, and potentially re-evaluate team structure or roles. C. Request additional resources to compensate for the team's low productivity and accelerate feature delivery. D. Prioritize only the most critical features to deliver on time, deferring less important ones to a later phase. Answer: B. Conduct a thorough root cause analysis to identify impediments, improve processes, and potentially re-evaluate team structure or roles. Consistent delivery issues like rework and missed deadlines signal underlying problems that require investigation beyond just pushing the team harder. The delivery performance domain emphasizes efficiency and effectiveness in producing deliverables, and identifying impediments through a root cause analysis is crucial for sustainable improvement. This approach addresses the systemic issues, such as unclear ownership or inefficient processes, rather than just treating the symptoms. A common Agile practice is for the team to self-organize and adapt processes in retrospectives, and the project manager's role is to facilitate these improvements. Question 4. A project team is developing a new software application using an adaptive approach. They have just completed a sprint and are preparing for the sprint review. The product owner indicates a desire to demonstrate a feature that, while partially complete, does not fully meet the definition of done, DoD. What action should the project manager advise the team to take? A. Exclude the partially complete feature from the sprint review, as it does not meet the definition of done. B. Demonstrate the partially complete feature, clearly stating its status and gathering feedback on the current functionality. C. Rush to complete the feature to meet the definition of done before the sprint review, potentially compromising quality. D. Present the feature as complete, hoping stakeholders don't notice the missing elements, to maintain team morale. Answer: A. Exclude the partially complete feature from the sprint review, as it does not meet the definition of done. In adaptive projects, the definition of done, DoD, is a critical quality gate ensuring that only fully completed and releasable increments are presented to stakeholders. Presenting something that doesn't meet the DoD can lead to confusion, false expectations, and potential rework later, undermining the integrity of the delivery process. The project manager should guide the team to only demonstrate items that are truly done, as this fosters transparency and maintains stakeholder trust in the project's progress and quality. Think of the DoD as the team's commitment to quality for every deliverable. Question 5. A project manager is overseeing a large infrastructure project. Midway through execution, a significant change request is approved that adds a new, complex component to the project's scope. This component has interdependencies with existing work packages. What is the project manager's primary concern regarding delivery performance in this situation? A. Renegotiating the contract with the vendor for the new component. B. Updating the project charter to reflect the expanded scope and new objectives. C. Replanning the existing work, managing new dependencies, and assessing the impact on schedule and cost for the overall delivery. D. Communicating the approved change to all stakeholders and ensuring they understand the added complexity. Answer: C. Replanning the existing work, managing new dependencies, and assessing the impact on schedule and cost for the overall delivery. When a significant change, especially one adding complexity and interdependencies, is approved, the project manager's immediate focus for delivery performance shifts to integrating this change effectively. This involves careful replanning, specifically addressing how the new component affects existing work packages, resource allocation, and the critical path. The delivery performance domain is all about delivering the agreed-upon scope efficiently, so managing these new dependencies and assessing the impact on the project schedule and cost is crucial to maintain project viability and ensure successful completion. It's like adding a new wing to a house mid-construction. You need to figure out how it connects to everything else and how it impacts the overall timeline and budget. Question 6. A project team is experiencing significant bottlenecks in their workflow, particularly during the testing phase, which delays the delivery of features. The project manager notices that many defects are discovered late in the cycle, leading to extensive rework. Which approach would best improve the flow and quality of delivery? A. Implement more rigorous upfront planning and documentation to prevent defects. B. Shorten the testing phase to accelerate delivery, trusting the development team to produce higher quality code. C. Introduce continuous integration and continuous testing practices, along with earlier defect detection mechanisms. D. Increase the number of dedicated testers to cope with the volume of defects discovered during the testing phase. Answer: C. Introduce continuous integration and continuous testing practices, along with earlier defect detection mechanisms. Bottlenecks in the testing phase and late defect detection are common delivery impediments. Introducing continuous integration and continuous testing, CI/CT, are agile practices that integrate code changes frequently and test them automatically, leading to earlier defect discovery and faster feedback loops. This proactive approach improves overall quality and flow, reducing the amount of rework and accelerating the delivery of valuable increments. Remember, finding defects early is far less costly than finding them later in the lifecycle. Question 7. The project manager is reviewing performance metrics for a complex product development project. The Earned Value Management (EVM) analysis shows a Cost Performance Index (CPI) of 0.85 and a Schedule Performance Index (SPI) of 0.90. The project is halfway through its planned duration. What is the most immediate implication for the project's delivery performance? A. The project is ahead of schedule and under budget, indicating excellent delivery performance. B. The project is behind schedule and over budget, requiring corrective actions to ensure successful delivery. C. The project is exactly on schedule and budget, but future performance needs careful monitoring. D. The project requires rebaselining as the current performance is not sustainable. Answer: B. The project is behind schedule and over budget, requiring corrective actions to ensure successful delivery. In Earned Value Management (EVM), a CPI, Cost Performance Index, less than 1.0 indicates that the project is over budget, getting less work per dollar spent, while an SPI, Schedule Performance Index, less than 1.0 indicates that the project is behind schedule, completing less work than planned. Both values of 0.85 and 0.90 respectively signal significant performance issues, directly impacting the project's ability to deliver its scope within the planned cost and schedule. The project manager must identify the root causes of these variances and implement corrective actions to get the project back on track. Question 8. A software development project is using an Agile approach. The team consistently delivers working software at the end of each sprint, but stakeholders are concerned that the cumulative value being delivered is not aligning with their strategic objectives. What mechanism should the project manager leverage to address this concern and improve strategic alignment in delivery? A. Conduct more frequent sprint reviews to gather detailed feedback from stakeholders. B. Refine the definition of done (DoD) to include strategic alignment checkpoints. C. Work with the product owner to ensure the product backlog is regularly refined and prioritized based on stakeholder value. D. Implement a formal change control board to approve all new features before they are added to the backlog. Answer: C. Work with the product owner to ensure the product backlog is regularly refined and prioritized based on stakeholder value. In an Agile context, the product backlog is the single source of truth for all work to be done, and its prioritization directly dictates the value delivered in each increment. If delivered increments aren't aligning with strategic objectives, it indicates an issue with the product backlog's content or prioritization. The project manager, working closely with the product owner, needs to ensure that the backlog is continuously refined, items are clearly defined, and they are prioritized based on actual business value and strategic goals. This ensures that the team consistently delivers the right things. Question 9. A project manager is conducting a sprint retrospective. The team identifies that technical debt is accumulating, making it harder to add new features and slowing down their delivery pace. What is the most appropriate action to take to improve future delivery performance? A. Dedicate a portion of upcoming sprints to addressing technical debt as a prioritized item. B. Ignore technical debt and focus solely on delivering new features to meet stakeholder demands. C. Document the technical debt and plan to address it in a separate, future project. D. Outsource the resolution of technical debt to a third-party vendor to avoid impacting current delivery. Answer: A. Dedicate a portion of upcoming sprints to addressing technical debt as a prioritized item. Technical debt, if left unaddressed, will inevitably degrade the system's quality, increase future development effort, and slow down the team's ability to deliver new features effectively. The delivery performance domain emphasizes producing deliverables efficiently and effectively. Proactively dedicating time in upcoming sprints to reduce technical debt, often alongside new feature development, is a pragmatic and sustainable approach. This ensures the long-term health of the product and improves the team's ability to deliver value continuously without increasing future burden. Think of it as essential maintenance for a well-functioning machine. Question 10. A project manager on a construction project receives a work performance report indicating that concrete pouring is behind schedule due to unexpected weather delays. This delay impacts the critical path. What is the most effective approach for the project manager to maintain project delivery objectives? A. Document the delay and inform stakeholders, accepting the schedule slip. B. Accelerate subsequent activities by increasing resources, potentially implementing crashing or fast-tracking techniques. C. Update the project management plan to reflect the new, delayed completion date. D. Request a scope reduction from the client to offset the weather-induced delay. Answer: B. Accelerate subsequent activities by increasing resources, potentially implementing crashing or fast-tracking techniques. When a critical path activity is delayed, the project manager must take proactive steps to bring the project back on track, rather than simply accepting the delay or reducing scope prematurely. Crashing involves adding resources to critical path activities to shorten their duration, while fast-tracking involves performing activities in parallel that would normally be done in sequence. Both are common techniques within the delivery performance domain to accelerate project completion when the schedule is at risk. Your goal is to regain the lost time if possible and maintain the original delivery objectives. Question 11. During a project's execution, a key supplier fails to deliver a critical component on time, jeopardizing the project's delivery schedule. The project manager has already escalated the issue to the supplier's management without immediate resolution. What is the project manager's next logical step to mitigate the impact on delivery? A. Issue a formal complaint to the supplier and initiate legal action for breach of contract. B. Inform the project sponsor about the situation and present potential alternative solutions or mitigation strategies. C. Instruct the team to pause all related work until the component arrives, to avoid rework. D. Search for a new supplier immediately, without further engagement with the current one. Answer: B. Inform the project sponsor about the situation and present potential alternative solutions or mitigation strategies. When internal actions and direct communication with a defaulting supplier don't resolve a critical issue that impacts project delivery, it becomes a significant risk or issue that needs higher-level attention. The project manager's responsibility is to keep the project sponsor informed of critical issues and their potential impacts on project objectives. More importantly, the project manager should come prepared with potential solutions or mitigation strategies, such as exploring alternative suppliers, resequencing work, or adjusting the schedule, allowing the sponsor to make informed decisions about the project's future course. This ensures proper governance and timely decision-making. Question 12. A project team is tasked with delivering a complex system integration. The team has been delivering technical components, but the project manager senses a lack of common understanding among stakeholders regarding how these components will ultimately integrate and function together. What is the best way to address this delivery concern? A. Increase the frequency of status reports, providing detailed technical specifications of each delivered component. B. Develop a working prototype or conduct simulations to demonstrate the integrated functionality early and gather feedback. C. Require all stakeholders to attend daily stand-up meetings to gain a deeper technical understanding. D. Defer stakeholder engagement until the final product is fully integrated and ready for user acceptance testing. Answer: B. Develop a working prototype or conduct simulations to demonstrate the integrated functionality early and gather feedback. A lack of common understanding among stakeholders about how complex components will integrate is a significant risk to successful delivery. Within the delivery performance domain, using prototypes, simulations, or even a minimum viable product, MVP, are excellent ways to provide tangible representations of functionality early in the project lifecycle. This allows stakeholders to interact with the evolving product, visualize the integration, provide early feedback, and clarify requirements, thereby ensuring the final delivered solution meets their expectations. Seeing is often believing, and it helps bridge communication gaps. Question 13. In an Agile project, the team has completed several sprints, and the product owner is preparing for an upcoming release. The team has been very productive, but the velocity has fluctuated significantly between sprints. What is the primary concern for the project manager regarding release delivery? A. The team is not adhering to the definition of done, DoD, consistently, leading to variable quality. B. The fluctuating velocity makes it difficult to forecast future release content and commit to firm delivery dates. C. Stakeholders may lose trust in the team's ability to estimate accurately and deliver on time. D. The team may be experiencing burnout due to inconsistent workload, impacting long-term productivity. Answer: B. The fluctuating velocity makes it difficult to forecast future release content and commit to firm delivery dates. While team burnout, D, and stakeholder trust, C, are valid concerns, the primary direct impact of fluctuating velocity on release delivery is the difficulty in forecasting. Velocity, when stable, serves as a crucial metric for forecasting how much work a team can realistically complete in future sprints and, consequently, what can be included in upcoming releases. Inconsistent velocity makes release planning and commitment much harder, impacting the predictability element of delivery. Aim for consistent, sustainable velocity to improve forecasting accuracy. Question 14. A project manager is overseeing a product development project using an Agile approach. The team is consistently delivering working software every 2 weeks, but due to market volatility, the product backlog is experiencing frequent, significant changes in priority. How should the project manager ensure continued value delivery under these circumstances? A. Resist frequent changes to the backlog to maintain team focus and predictability. B. Facilitate strong communication channels between the product owner, stakeholders, and the team to ensure rapid adaptation to new priorities. C. Implement a formal change control process for all backlog adjustments to slow down the rate of change. D. Extend the sprint length to provide more time for the team to absorb and implement changing priorities. Answer: B. Facilitate strong communication channels between the product owner, stakeholders, and the team to ensure rapid adaptation to new priorities. In highly volatile environments, the delivery performance domain emphasizes adaptability and rapid response to change. Attempting to resist changes or formalizing them too much can stifle agility and prevent the project from delivering current market value. The project manager's role is to facilitate excellent communication and collaboration, ensuring the product owner can effectively articulate new priorities to the team, and the team can quickly understand and incorporate them into their work. This fluid exchange allows the project to continuously deliver the highest value despite shifting priorities. Question 15. A project is delivering a series of small, independent enhancements to an existing product using an iterative approach. The team has been delivering these enhancements incrementally, but the customer is expressing frustration because they cannot see the full benefit until all related enhancements are deployed together. What delivery strategy should the project manager consider to address this? A. Switch to a predictive, phased approach to deliver all enhancements at once. B. Implement a Kanban system to visualize the flow of work and manage dependencies more effectively. C. Group related enhancements into larger releases that provide more cohesive value, even if it means less frequent deployments. D. Educate the customer on the benefits of continuous delivery and incremental value. Answer: C. Group related enhancements into larger releases that provide more cohesive value, even if it means less frequent deployments. While incremental delivery is valuable, the ultimate goal of the delivery performance domain is to provide value. If small, independent increments don't provide discernible value until grouped, then the delivery strategy needs adjustment. Grouping related enhancements into larger, more cohesive releases allows the customer to perceive and utilize the full benefit of the delivered work, aligning delivery with their desired outcomes. This means balancing continuous delivery with delivering meaningful, usable increments. Question 16. A project manager is conducting a quality audit on project deliverables. It is discovered that several completed components, although meeting their individual specifications, do not integrate seamlessly, leading to performance degradation when combined. What concept related to delivery performance is most at fault here? A. Scope creep due to unmanaged changes. B. Lack of comprehensive definition of done, DoD, or acceptance criteria. C. Inadequate stakeholder engagement throughout the project lifecycle. D. Poor resource allocation and capacity planning. Answer: B. Lack of comprehensive definition of done, DoD, or acceptance criteria. The scenario describes components that are individually done, but fail when integrated, indicating a disconnect in the definition of what constitutes a complete and acceptable deliverable. The delivery performance domain emphasizes producing deliverables that meet requirements and quality standards. A robust definition of done, in Agile, or clear acceptance criteria, in predictive, should include integration testing and performance standards to ensure that components work together as intended. Without this comprehensive view, individual components might be deemed complete prematurely, leading to integration issues and rework. Question 17. A project team is using an agile approach and has a steady velocity. However, the product owner frequently introduces new, high-priority user stories mid-sprint, which often causes existing work to be deferred. This leads to unpredictability in what gets delivered. How should the project manager address this to stabilize delivery? A. Insist that the product owner adhere strictly to the sprint backlog and not introduce new items mid-sprint. B. Explain to the product owner that frequent mid-sprint changes negatively impact team morale and productivity. C. Facilitate a discussion with the product owner and team about sprint commitments and the impact of mid-sprint scope changes on delivery predictability. D. Implement a strict change control process for all user stories, requiring formal approval before they can be added to any sprint. Answer: C. Facilitate a discussion with the product owner and team about sprint commitments and the impact of mid-sprint scope changes on delivery predictability. While insisting might be too rigid for Agile, the core issue is the disruption to sprint commitments and predictability. The delivery performance domain aims for reliable delivery of value. The project manager should facilitate a collaborative discussion, explaining the impact of mid-sprint changes on the team's ability to focus, complete committed work, and deliver predictably. This conversation should highlight that new high-priority items can always be considered for future sprints, ensuring the current sprint stability. This approach emphasizes communication and understanding within the Agile framework. Question 18. A project manager is leading a predictive project to build a new factory. During construction, the team discovers a significant structural issue that will require extensive redesign and rework, impacting the critical path and the overall delivery schedule. What is the project manager's immediate priority regarding this discovery? A. Notify the customer immediately of the delay and seek their approval for a revised schedule. B. Initiate formal change requests for budget and schedule adjustments based on preliminary estimates. C. Conduct a detailed analysis of the structural issue, assess its full impact on all project aspects, and develop viable options for resolution. D. Engage legal counsel to review contractual obligations regarding unforeseen structural issues. Answer: C. Conduct a detailed analysis of the structural issue, assess its full impact on all project aspects, and develop viable options for resolution. Before communicating with stakeholders or initiating formal change requests, the project manager's immediate priority, concerning the delivery performance domain, is to fully understand the problem. This involves a detailed analysis of the structural issue, assessing its complete impact on scope, schedule, cost, quality, and resources, and then developing potential solutions and mitigation strategies. This thorough understanding allows for informed decision-making, accurate communication to stakeholders, and the development of realistic recovery plans, ensuring the project can still deliver effectively. Question 19. A project manager is leading a product launch project. As the launch date approaches, several new marketing requirements are introduced, which will require minor adjustments to the product's user interface. The team is already working at full capacity. What is the most appropriate action to ensure successful delivery without jeopardizing the launch? A. Postpone the launch date to accommodate the new requirements. B. Negotiate with the marketing team to defer the new requirements until after the initial launch. C. prioritize the new requirements against existing features and decide which ones can be delivered for the initial launch, possibly deferring others. D. Assign overtime to the team to absorb the new requirements and maintain the launch date. Answer: C. Prioritize the new requirements against existing features and decide which ones can be delivered for the initial launch, possibly deferring others. When new requirements emerge close to a critical delivery date and resources are constrained, the most pragmatic approach is to manage scope. The delivery performance domain focuses on delivering value. Rather than delaying the launch or burning out the team with overtime, the project manager should facilitate a prioritization discussion with relevant stakeholders, example product owner, marketing team. This involves assessing the value and urgency of the new requirements against existing features to determine what is truly essential for the initial launch, ensuring the most impactful features are delivered first. Question 20. A project team is working on a complex system using an Agile approach. They have developed a minimum viable product, MVP, and demonstrated it to key stakeholders. The feedback indicates that while the core functionality is valuable, the user interface, UI, is cumbersome and will likely hinder user adoption. What should be the project manager's next step to ensure successful product delivery and adoption? A. Proceed with developing the remaining features, assuming the UI issues can be addressed in later releases. B. Immediately halt further feature development and dedicate the next sprint solely to redesigning the UI. C. Facilitate a collaborative session to refine the UI requirements, potentially prioritizing UI improvements alongside new feature development in upcoming sprints. D. Document the UI feedback as a backlog of non-critical improvements for consideration in future projects. Answer: C. Facilitate a collaborative session to refine the UI requirements, potentially prioritizing UI improvements alongside new feature development in upcoming sprints. The delivery performance domain emphasizes delivering value and desired outcomes, and a cumbersome UI can significantly impact user adoption, thereby reducing the value of the MVP. Ignoring critical usability feedback, D, or making a drastic, unilateral decision, B, is not optimal. The project manager should facilitate a discussion to properly refine the UI requirements and then integrate these improvements into the product backlog, potentially prioritizing them alongside other new features. This ensures that the team continuously improves the product based on feedback, leading to better user experience and successful adoption. Question 21. A project manager for a fixed-price contract project discovers that a critical material needed for delivery is significantly more expensive than originally budgeted. This will cause a cost overrun. How should the project manager address this while maintaining delivery performance? A. Absorb the cost overrun and report it at the end of the project to avoid alarming the client. B. Seek a change order from the client to cover the increased material cost, explaining the unforeseen circumstances. C. Substitute the critical material with a cheaper alternative, even if it slightly compromises quality. D. Reevaluate the project scope to identify areas where costs can be cut to offset the material price increase. Answer: D. Reevaluate the project scope to identify areas where costs can be cut to offset the material price increase. In a fixed-price contract, the project organization bears the risk of cost overruns. The delivery performance domain requires delivering within the agreed-upon constraints. While seeking a change order, B, is an option for certain unforeseen circumstances, the primary responsibility of the project manager is to manage within the existing contract terms first. Reevaluating the project scope to identify potential cost savings in non-critical areas is a proactive way to manage the budget internally and mitigate the impact of the increased material cost without compromising the core deliverables or requesting a client change order prematurely. Question 22. An Agile team consistently completes all committed user stories within each sprint. However, work performance reports indicate that the definition of done is being loosely interpreted, leading to incomplete testing and undocumented code. What is the most important step for the project manager to take to improve delivery quality and ensure true completeness? A. Reduce the number of user stories committed per sprint to allow more time for thorough completion. B. Implement a stricter external quality assurance process to catch defects before release. C. Facilitate a team discussion to collectively re-establish and commit to a robust definition of done, making it transparent and non-negotiable. D. Assign specific team members as quality champions responsible for ensuring adherence to the definition of done. Answer: C. Facilitate a team discussion to collectively re-establish and commit to a robust definition of done, making it transparent and non-negotiable. The definition of done, DoD, is crucial for ensuring quality and actual completion of work in Agile projects, directly impacting the delivery performance domain. If the DoD is being loosely interpreted, it's a sign that the team either doesn't fully understand it, hasn't collectively bought into it, or it's not comprehensive enough. The project manager's role is to facilitate the team in collectively owning and refining their DoD. This ensures that done truly means ready for release, preventing incomplete work from accumulating and improving overall delivery quality. Question 23. A predictive project is nearing its planned completion date, but the final integration testing phase is revealing numerous critical defects, requiring extensive rework. The project manager is under pressure to deliver on time. What should the project manager prioritize to manage this situation effectively? A. Push the team to work overtime to fix defects quickly and meet the deadline, even if it means sacrificing some quality. B. Release the product with known critical defects, documenting them for a post-launch patch. C. Extend the project schedule to allow for proper defect resolution and retesting, ensuring a high-quality delivery. D. Engage external consultants to expedite defect resolution, adding cost to the project. Answer: C. Extend the project schedule to allow for proper defect resolution and retesting, ensuring a high-quality delivery. The delivery performance domain emphasizes producing deliverables that meet requirements and quality standards. Releasing a product with known critical defects can lead to significant reputational damage, customer dissatisfaction, and higher costs in the long run. While there's pressure to meet deadlines, compromising quality for critical defects is generally detrimental. The project manager should prioritize ensuring the final product meets quality standards, even if it means extending the schedule. This requires transparent communication with stakeholders about the need for delay to ensure a successful and reliable delivery. Question 24. An Agile project team has delivered several valuable features, but the business stakeholders are concerned about the lack of long-term strategic vision being addressed by the current incremental deliveries. What is the best way for the project manager to improve the alignment of delivered value with strategic goals? A. Instruct the product owner to create a detailed, fixed roadmap for the next 12 to 18 months. B. Facilitate regular meetings between the product owner, key business stakeholders, and the project sponsor to review the product vision and roadmap. C. Encourage the team to work on architectural improvements to support future strategic initiatives. D. Implement a formal change control process for all strategic shifts to avoid disrupting current sprints. Answer: B. Facilitate regular meetings between the product owner, key business stakeholders, and the project sponsor to review the product vision and roadmap. For an Agile project, the delivery performance domain extends beyond just delivering features to ensuring those features align with broader strategic goals. If stakeholders are concerned about strategic alignment, it indicates a potential disconnect in the product vision or roadmap. The project manager's role is to facilitate continuous dialogue, ensuring the product owner's backlog prioritization is regularly validated against evolving strategic objectives with key stakeholders and the sponsor. This ensures that the incremental deliveries are consistently steered towards the overall long-term vision. Question 25. A project is transitioning from the execution phase to the closeout phase, which involves handing over the final deliverables to the operations team. The operations team expresses concerns that they lack the necessary training and documentation to effectively manage the new product. What is the most critical action for the project manager to take to ensure successful delivery and transition? A. Defer the handover until all operational concerns are fully addressed by the project team. B. Provide generic documentation and recommend that the operations team hire external experts for training. C. Work with the operations team to ensure adequate training, knowledge transfer, and comprehensive documentation are provided as part of the project's completion. D. Inform the project sponsor that the operations team is not ready and that the project cannot be closed. Answer: C. Work with the operations team to ensure adequate training, knowledge transfer, and comprehensive documentation are provided as part of the project's completion. The delivery performance domain encompasses not just creating deliverables, but also ensuring they are effectively transitioned and adopted, thereby realizing the intended value. If the operations team is not prepared, the long-term success and benefit realization of the project are at risk. The project manager must collaborate with the operations team to ensure comprehensive training, knowledge transfer, and thorough documentation are part of the project's formal completion process, facilitating a smooth and effective handover. This ensures the project's output can continue to deliver value post-project.